John Lusk here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Serious testing, successful hunting. Today I'm going to be testing a really creative new broadhead that's come out on the market, and that is the REK, R-E-K, the REK broadhead. And what's unique about it is it has this modular design. I think there's only one other broadhead, if I may be incorrect on that, but one other one that I know about that has this modular design where using the same ferrule, you can switch out the blades and either have a fixed blade or a mechanical blade head like that. So with this broadhead, just by getting the different blades, you can kind of hunt anything you want. If you're looking for extra durability, extra penetration, but a little bit smaller cut, then you go with the fixed. If you're looking for a wider cut and a little bit better flight, then you go with the mechanical. So it's nice that they have that design. So I'm going to zoom on in here and go through the broadheads and go through their specs, and then I'm going to put them through the test. Now I'm going to do a little bit different test with the mechanical than with the fixed. And the differences in those is I'm shooting the mechanical through MDF for durability tests, whereas with the fixed, I shoot them through 22 gauge steel plate. Everything else in the tests is the same. And so the reason I do that is, man, when you're talking about that wide of a cut, what I found, the vast majority of mechanical heads don't hold up through the 22 gauge steel plate. So I think that the MDF is a more fair test for the mechanicals with such a wide cut. Now, if a head does really well in the MDF, then I'm going to put it to the 22 gauge steel plate and see how it does with that. But let's see how the REK looks close up. I'll explain it and then see how it performs. Here you can see both of the models of the REK. You've got the fixed blade, and then you've got the mechanical in the closed position and in the open position. Now, some things you'll notice right off the bat. First of all, these chiseled tips, man, those are beastly looking tips. They're 416 stainless steel tips. The blades are also that same 416 stainless steel. The ferrules are the same on all of them. Obviously, the ferrules are the same. The only thing it changes are the blades. The ferrules are 6061 aluminum T6. The little spring clip, the way that works is it holds these wings in place and it keeps the blades firm until penetration. And when they penetrate the hide, the tissue, it pushes back and causes these little spring clips to spring off, and then the blades fully deploy. And they don't lock open, but as long as there's pressure on these little wing tips like that, then the blades will stay in the open position like that. And you can see that the blades extend just beyond these wingtips, so the wingtips really don't impede penetration there. Now, what I'm interested to check out is the durability. Everything looks really cool about these designs. I love that I can get a 1.25 inch cut in the fixed or a full 1.85 inch cut in the mechanical. I love that you can hunt pretty much anything with these heads just by replacing the blades or switching the blades out. But I am curious about the durability. I'm curious about the durability of the ferrule and curious about the durability of the blades. And it'll just check the overall penetration. And so let's put these through the test and see how they perform. This is the REK right out of the package. One stroke of the arrow. Two strokes of the arrow. Three strokes of the arrow. Four strokes of the arrow. Okay, so the REK cut paper after 3 strokes of the arrow. So the REK penetrated 6 inches. The REK fixed blade penetrated 7 1/4 inches. Here you can see the REK mechanical after going through the MDF 3 times. So the first 2 shots, it made really nice holes. You can see the blades fully deployed upon impact and made really nice holes there. On the 3rd shot, the blades were already in the open position, and that's when it lost one of the blades. The other got a bit bent. So the tip held up extremely well. The ferrule actually held up well. It just lost a blade on that 3rd shot through the MDF, but did really well through the first 2 shots. Here you can see the fixed blade after going through the 22 gauge steel plate 5 times. And you can see the tip held up really well, but it did get a little bit of a bending at the very tip, but that can be easily sharpened out. The blades themselves, they would definitely have to be replaced. So they wouldn't have made it a 6 shot in terms of the way I'm calling it, but they did make it through 5 shots and held up, did not bend, did not break. And as for the steel plate itself, you can see the holes that it made right here. Actually really nice holes, really big holes, even for a 2-blade. Because that tip is so big, it really punches a nice hole. So what'd you think of the REK Broadhead? Man, there's a lot to really like about it. I love that it's all made in the USA. I love the modular design, very innovative, very creative, very practically useful. That with the same head, just by switching out the blades, you can use it for pretty much any hunt in North America, any shot distance, any animal. Really impressed with the durability of the fixed blade head. That tough tip is really nice, and it makes a really big hole, and the blades held up well too. You saw with the mechanical that it held up fine going through the MDF. The blades held up fine 2 times. You can look at the score sheets and compare the fixed with other fixed blade heads and the mechanical with other mechanical heads, but this is a really unique, creative, homegrown broadhead that's worth a look.